Antarctica, way down south, isn't just the coldest and most faraway place on Earth. It's also full of mysteries, amazing discoveries, and secrets waiting to be found. Covered in ice and blasted by strong winds, it shows us how powerful and beautiful nature can be. Let's explore 5 cool and mysterious facts about this icy, puzzling world. Reaching the South Pole was a super tough challenge. In the early 1900s, explorers went into the unknown because they wanted to discover new things and make their countries proud. 2 important guys were Roald Amundsen, a Norwegian explorer with a good plan, and Robert Falcon Scott, a British Navy guy who wanted to win for his country. Amundsen used dog sleds and smart navigating to reach the South Pole on December 14, 1911. He and his team came back as heroes, but Scott's trip had lots of problems like broken equipment and bad weather. They got to the pole on January 17, 1912, but Amundsen's flag was already there. Sad and facing a hard trip back, Scott and his team died from hunger and cold. Their diaries tell a sad story of bravery. These 2 trips, one a win and one super sad, show how tough Antarctica is. Antarctica is covered in ice and snow, so it seems weird to call it a desert, but it actually is the biggest desert on Earth. How? A desert is a place that doesn't get much rain or snow. Antarctica gets less than 200 millimeters of precipitation a year. That's even less than the Sahara Desert. It's so dry because the cold air can't hold much moisture and strong winds blow any moisture away. This makes a beautiful but harsh landscape. The dryness also keeps meteorites safe, making Antarctica great for scientists who study space rocks. The dry valleys there are some of the driest spots on Earth, but even there, tiny life forms survive, showing how tough life is. Under all that ice in Antarctica, there are hidden lakes left over from a time when it was warmer. Lake Vostok is the biggest one, buried under more than 2 miles of ice, untouched by sunlight for millions of years. When it was discovered in the 1990s, scientists got really excited because it might hold secrets about Earth's past and life in extreme places. Lake Vostok, as big as Lake Ontario, probably formed 34 million years ago when Antarctica started to freeze. Because it's so isolated, it's like a time capsule of ancient life. Scientists think there might be special life forms in the lake, even though it's dark and under high pressure. Getting samples without messing up the lake is really hard. In 2012, Russian scientists drilled through the ice and found tiny life forms, proving that life can exist even in the toughest places. Lake Vostok is still super interesting to scientists. The night sky in Antarctica is amazing because of the southern lights, or Aurora Australis. It looks like colorful lights dancing in the sky. This happens when tiny particles from the sun hit atoms in Earth's atmosphere. This makes the atoms light up, creating beautiful colors. The colors like green, red, blue, and purple depend on which gas molecules are lighting up. Oxygen makes green, while nitrogen makes red and blue. How bright the lights are depends on the sun's activity. For a long time, people have been amazed by the southern lights. People who lived in Antarctica long ago made stories about them, thinking they were spirits or gods. Scientists are still studying the lights to learn more about how the sun and Earth interact. Seeing the southern lights is an amazing experience. Antarctica's ice has been frozen for a long time, but now it's melting because the Earth is getting warmer. This is a big problem because Antarctica has more than half of the world's fresh water. If the ice melts, the oceans will rise, and that's bad for coastal cities. The melting happens because the air and oceans are getting warmer and precipitation patterns are changing. Warmer water also melts the ice from underneath. If all of Antarctica's ice melted, the oceans could rise by a huge amount, 200 feet. That would flood lots of cities. Even a little melting can cause problems like bigger storms and floods. Scientists are watching the ice closely using satellites and computers to understand how fast it's melting and what we can do. Antarctica isn't just a cold, empty place. It's full of mysteries and amazing things for scientists to discover. By studying Antarctica, we can learn about climate change, life in extreme places, and the future of our planet. What happens to Antarctica affects us all. We've learned 5 cool facts, but there's still so much more to discover about this amazing continent. It's a beautiful, important place, and we need to take care of it.